Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to discuss and assess some of the vital issues concerning the Malaysian Chinese community as well as all Malaysians in general. I hope we can look through the false claim and denial of the opposition through to the truth of this issue. Let us be very honest, give credit where it is due and lay blame where it is deserved. The next general election is at a crossroad, not just for the Malaysian Chinese. I would say it is a crossroad for the nation and all Malaysians, and any wrong turn would have a great impact to the nation and the rakyat. PAS, DAP, Keadilan have forgotten that they have a mandate to rule 4 states. They are more interested in scoring political points and creating publicity than indulging in serious business of running the state government. They shout about change, but only pursue populist policy. Everything is about politics. For them, the stable diet for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and supper is politics and more politics. Scoring political point, making more promises, propaganda and spinning. It is not about delivering on promises. And thanks to Pakatan Rakyat, we cannot deny that today we live in a very politically charged environment. Selangor will face serious water shortage soon if they do not respond urgently to address this critical issue as advised by the federal government. You're probably aware that land price, sand price, conversion premium for land in Selangor is the highest in the whole country. And since no low-cost house is built by the state government, Selangor will be soon for the rich and the elite, as property prices escalate beyond the reach of the middle-income group. The CM of Penang is more interested in issuing countless statements to condemn and challenge others, behaving like a true street fighter. He has forgotten that he has a state to look after. A lot of promises are not delivered. Simple promises like building an international golf course, low-cost house, upgrading the public transport system, easing the horrendous traffic jam, upgrading the numerous rundown hawker centers in Penang. Instead of easing the traffic congestion, he's increasing development density. His arrogance and not listening to the people will cause adverse social impact on the community, infrastructure, and traffic. The Penang Citizens Awareness Chat Group has, among others, identified concerns such as development density increasing to 87 units per acre, and that's nearly 2.5 times more. The increase in FDI in Penang is due to the transformation program of the central government. And under the leadership of the Prime Minister, Dr. Sri Najib, we have increased our competitiveness, the ease of doing business, and enjoying better public security. As for Kelantan, the record of past rule in Kelantan is not envied by other states in the country. Apart from the social and cultural restriction in everyday life, cases of drug abuse, HIV, divorce cases are higher than several other states in Malaysia. So after more than 20 years in power, the past leadership is still unable to provide tap water to half the state population, even after the federal government have given them a grant of $500 million. As for the Kedah state government, It is more interested in imposing the do's and don'ts on the non-Muslim than embarking on the socio-economic development. PAS is more concerned about Valentine's Day, as if there are no other more serious issue to address. Ladies and gentlemen, in short, Pakatan Rakyat has not initiated any change, far short of the transformation that the Prime Minister has initiated. There is some truth of what people say, that while Barisan Nasional is engrossed with implementing transformation program, Pakatan Rakyat is busy with demonstration for the crusade of one person's political agenda. And in the case of BN under the leadership of the Prime Minister, it is not just about politics. It is about nation building through the economic transformation program. Political transformation program and government transformation program. And I'm given to understand the Prime Minister will later on initiate what we call a rural transformation program. Through all these transformation programs, today we are more confident that Malaysia will achieve a high-income nation by the year 2020. Congratulations, sir. The global management consultancy AT Cranley now ranks Malaysia as among the top 10 countries in the world in being attractive for foreign direct investment, and we rose from position 21 to 10. And on the Global Competitiveness Index, we have rose from 28 to 21. And for the ease of doing business, we have rose from 23 to 18. This is called transformation. Talking about Pakatan Rakyat, they are strange partner, as the three Pakatan party cannot even agree among themselves. How could they govern a country if among themselves they cannot come to a consensus on the various issues? And let me elaborate on this. The two major parties within the opposition, DAP and PAS, are diametrically opposed to one another. PAS, with its philosophy based on Islam and its primary aim to establish an Islamic theocratic state based on the Sharia law, with a hudud PAS component, it is like living in a different planet with DAP, which is essentially a mono-ethnic party. DAP has never been able to attract the mainstream Malay community and the Indian community, and it will never. PKR, on the other hand, exists only with Anwar Ibrahim. It is a one-man party, no real broad political agenda, except to help Anwar gain power by whatever means. Anwar condemns the Barisan National government. Anwar must have forgotten that he spent 17 years of his productive life in the Barisan National government. We have been in power for 50 over years, of which 1/3, Anwar was an integral part of the decision-making process. So let's not forget about Anwar. To do DAP, it talks only of the Chinese, while paying lip service to the other races. Its reason appeal to the Chinese to reject a multiracial Barisan Nasional is a case in point. The party has become so racially charged to the point of being arrogant. It sometimes forgets that the continued prosperity of this nation and the Chinese community in this country is due very much to the social contract of mutual cooperation among the major races of this country. We have continued to prosper and will continue to do so in the future with Barisan Nasional under Datuk Sri Najib. Coming back to DAP, DAP is good at pitting Chinese against Chinese. In Mandarin, we say, 以华治华. While it claims to be multiracial, it contests only in Chinese-dominated constituency. A few DAP Malay candidates here and there, to me, is called political tokenism or window dressing. You and me know that a few swallows do not make a summer. DAP in its campaign, especially with the Chinese crowd, like to allude to their success in forming the state government in Penang, and DAP as the chief minister. Like it or not, this has given false hope to the Chinese that this is possible in other states. By tradition, this is only possible in Penang, but not other states as yet. Hence, DAP has been planting hope in the minds of approximately 6.5 million Malaysian Chinese that a Malaysian-led Chinese government is possible and that the Malaysian Chinese have been shortchanged by MCA. In the last general election, DAP won 18 seats, PKR 7 seats, and passed 6 seats in Perak. Finally, the Lao Da or Tai Ko comes from PAS and not DAP. The same with Kedah. The Menteri Besar also came from PAS. DAP condemns Barisan Nasional, MCA, and UMNO. In fact, it blames UMNO as the root of all problems in this country. But DAP has no gut to contest in Malay majority area. If you are multiracial, race should not be a consideration when you contest in the election. Now, DAP wants to make Johor its frontline state. Now, PAS has quickly stated its claim that if we control Johor, the Tai Ko should be from PAS and not DAP. In short, a vote for DAP is a vote for PAS and Pakatan Rakyat, as they are partners in Pakatan Rakyat. In the same way, a vote for MCA is a vote for Barisan Nasional. Today, we have to face political reality that the DAP of today is different from the DAP of before. In short, to empower DAP is to strengthen PAS and pave the way for PAS to be the Tai Ko in the state and federal government. The recent election in the state of Sarawak is a classic example where the state government is made out of Malays and others. And the Chinese that constitute 30% of the Sarawak state government is in the opposition. I believe such a scenario of a politically divided country on racial line is a disaster to the stability of this country. Somehow, some segment of the Chinese community believe that the Chinese-dominated opposition will lead to their position being strengthened. This is flawed, and at the same time, it is a perception that will do more harm than good for the Chinese. Malaysia has been successful because of the ability of various communities to work together and to recognize the political and economic realities of a multiracial society. Yes, some people will argue that what has worked may not necessarily work in the future. However, I would like to suggest that in a very uncertain global financial and economic situation, do we really want to take a chance and destroy the very fabric of our society that have worked us well for the last 50 over years? Of course, I recognize that there are many issues out there that need our attention and the need for us to change. But change should not lead to destroying the very edifice that has housed us all this time. Let us not forget the old saying about bringing down the whole house in order to make some improvement. The Barisan national approach is diametrically different from that of the past, which is in its puritanical zeal churns out regulation that affects the rights of women, interaction between the sexes, public access to entertainment, and the freedom of cultural expression. Even cinema are banned because they say cinema is a place for maksiat. The government has never, in the name of religion, sought to restrict the personal and social freedom of non-Muslim. It realizes that non-interference with these freedoms help to preserve interracial and interreligious harmony. These restrictions and prohibitions have not strengthened the moral fiber of society, as evidenced in the case of Kelantan, which has been under past rule for more than 20 years. And despite their many do's and don'ts, drug abuse, HIV, illicit sex, divorce, are more rampant in Kelantan compared to many other states in Malaysia. And it is against this background that one has to view the past obsession with hudud. It is a reflection of how much emphasis the party gives to punitive action and punishment in its approach to religion. Past hudud is a threat to the prevailing legal and judicial system embodied in the Malaysian Constitution. It will create a dual system of education for the same offense involving a Muslim and a non-Muslim, which makes a mockery of justice and the principle of equality before the law, as envisaged in Article 8 of the Federal Constitution. Malaysians have to ask themselves, what is the track record of hudud-orientated state? How have they fared in terms of governance? Have they reduced corruption? Since I know that some of the countries that practice hudud are also the most corrupted in the world, have they curbed the abuse of power? And are hudud states of a higher moral caliber than the other states? Whether you like it or not, past hudud will have a direct and indirect impact upon non-Muslims in Malaysia. There are opposition politicians and there are sympathizers who argue that we do not have to worry about hudud because it is not in the buku jingle and will not be in Pakatan Rakyat Common Manifesto. But this does not guarantee that PAS will not push for hudud if it comes to power in Putrajaya. In 1999 general election, hudud was not mentioned in the opposition Common Manifesto. At that time, they have a Barisan alternative, they call it. But within months of assuming office in Terengganu, PAS formulated hudud legislation in the state of Terengganu. The PAS government in Kedah has already announced that it will follow the footsteps of the Kelantan government in establishing hudud. Even Pakatan Ketua Umum Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim has very slyly expressed his personal commitment to Hudud, while promising the people that Hudud will not be in the Coalition Common Manifesto. Though the danger of Hudud become reality under Pakatan rule is real, there are some naive commentators who insist that DAP will be able to check past agenda. Agreeing to disagree is a camouflage DAP employed. In its eagerness to garner Malay votes and really impotent to checkmate PAS, DAP is even unable to persuade PAS not to pursue policy encouraging the life of non-Muslims as in Kedah and Kelantan, such as ban on concert, sale of liquor, lottery ticket, segregation of male and female in public space, and so on. Simple thing like that. DAP has failed to checkmate PAS. Ladies and gentlemen, the DAP problem would likely magnify with the manifestation of Anwar Ibrahim's hidden Islamic agenda, his obligation to the Brotherhood, and his objective of the Abin movement. In short, DAP must be daydreaming that it can control PAS from imposing its value on non-Muslims. These commentators forget that the electoral demography in this country are such that if Pakatan comes to power, the anchor will undoubtedly be PAS. If UMNO falls, the principal benefactor will be PAS and not DAP or Pakatan Rakyat. This is just common sense. Pause for a moment. Just imagine the whole of Malaysia being transformed into Kelantan, with all its restriction and lack of emphasis on socio-economic development. I'm sure all of us in this hall will say no. So let us not be deceived by dishonest rhetoric. Let us face the hard truth. If Pakatan comes to power, the Malaysian constitution will be in jeopardy, and the Malaysian way of life will be compromised. Talking about buku jingle, it is one that will bankrupt this nation in 2 years. Taking our public debts to be more than 100% of the GDP. PR proposal is to ensure a 4,000 monthly income to all households in 5 years. And this will require a commitment of 93.9 billion per year to be paid to 3.8 million households to ensure their income is guaranteed at $4,000 per month. So if PR deliver all its promises as stated in the buku jingle, it will cost the taxpayer annually in this country something between 199 billion to 254 billion and raise the federal budget deficit to 27.5% of year one. And public debt will soar to 670.1 billion in year one. Malaysia will go the way of the Greek government by the year 2 of Pakatan Rakyat's rule, as budget deficit would have exceeded 10% of the GDP and public debt would have exceeded 100% of the GDP. Hence, if PR succeeds in the next general election, ladies and gentlemen, not only our constitution will be in jeopardy, our nation's financial health will be in danger of becoming a bankrupt nation in 2 years. This is all in buku jingle. This is not political spinning by Chua Soi Lek. Anyway, you and me know that the role of the opposition is to make promises, more promises, without having to deliver on these promises. And we must thank God for that. Ladies and gentlemen, religion is sensitive and can be volatile in a multiracial country. And when you mix it with politics, it becomes a potent recipe for being very divisive in a multiracial country like ours. Whether you like it or not, we have to accept this. That if you mix religion with politics in a multiracial society like ours, it will definitely be very divisive. Hence, the coming general election is a crossroad for the nation and all Malaysians. A vote for Barisan Nasional is an endorsement of our Prime Minister's inclusive leadership of One Malaysia. And the transformation program to bring about a more democratic Malaysia and achieving the high-income nation by the year 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, the national agenda needs the Rakyat support. The journey to realize all that has begun. And let us all work together under the leadership of our Prime Minister, Datuk Seri Najib. Do not let them derail it. For us, the people comes first. For them, it is Putrajaya at all costs.